Jordan Peterson was on the Jubilee channel to debate 20 atheists. But during the debate, Jordan Peterson refuses to say if he's a Christian. So why is this an issue? Because the initial title of the video, as you can see here, is One Christian versus 20 Atheists, featuring Jordan Peterson. However, 4 hours after the video was uploaded, it was changed to Jordan Peterson versus 20 Atheists. I think this is really embarrassing for all the parties involved, and I will share why in a bit. But that's not even the worst part. I'm going to play this viral moment from this debate, and I will share my thoughts on these things. This is one of the debaters, and the conversation here was centered around what is worship, and it's spiraled downward really quickly. Let's watch this part of this debate.
Why is that relevant?
Because you go to a Catholic church, don't you? Or you've attended recently. You're interested in Catholicism, aren't you?
Sure.
All right. Are you familiar with their doctrines?
Somewhat.
Okay, you're
Their
familiar.
doctrines are very
How do they
deep.
regard Mary?
Why are you asking me that?
Because you're a Christian.
You say that. I haven't claimed that.
All right, so there are a couple of problems here. Now, the debate was going to be Jordan Peterson versus 20 atheists. And the prompt here was everybody worships something, even though they might not know it. The conversation wasn't about whether Jordan Peterson was a Christian or whether he was a Catholic or whether he was not. It was just about worship, that people, even those who claim to be atheists, worship something. And now the conversation shifted from that to the religion of Jordan Peterson, asking the question if he was a Christian or not. I think that initially sets the stage for calamity in this debate. So another problem here is if you're going to pick a Christian to debate 20 atheists on the existence of God, I don't think Jordan Peterson should be the candidate for that. I, on a personal level, respect Jordan Peterson for his intellectual depth and for some of the things he stood up for, even when it wasn't convenient to do that. But as an apologist for the Christian faith, I think he is not the ideal candidate to do that. I believe there are so many Christian apologists who will have done a better job than Jordan Peterson. So I think on the part of the organizers, this was an error. Jordan Peterson shouldn't be your number one choice of a Christian to debate atheists. Related to that is, Jordan Peterson, from what I've observed so far, has never espoused publicly that he is a Christian. There are a lot of interviews where people have tried to ask Jordan Peterson if he believes in God, and he has always declared that he doesn't want to reduce his belief to soundbite. So we have not gotten a clear response on that question from Jordan Peterson. But in a recent interview, he said that he believes in the resurrection of Jesus Christ. And that has made a lot of Christians to infer from that he is a Christian, or probably if he's not a Christian, he's very close to being a Christian. So Jordan Peterson himself has never come out publicly to espouse his Christian faith. So which is more surprising, why Jubilee will pick a person like him to represent Christianity against 20 atheists. And that's why I think this was not carefully considered.
Oh, what is this? Is this Christians versus atheists?
I don't know.
You don't know where you are right now.
Don't be a smartass.
Well,
and I mean
either you're a
'cause I
Christian
won't
or you're
talk
not.
to you if you're a smartass.
Oh, either you're a Christian or you're not. Which one?
So it's possible that Jordan Peterson was told he was going to be debating 20 atheists, not knowing that he was going to be put forward as a Christian versus 20 atheists. And the atheists got the invite that they will be debating Jordan Peterson as a Christian. So probably there was a mixed up there somewhere, but I really don't know, because it seems as if Jordan Peterson didn't declare he is a Christian. He was just there as Jordan Peterson. And the atheists were assuming that they were debating a Christian. So I think there was that tension and confusion. Let's take this back a little.
Either you're a Christian or you're not. Which one is it?
I could be either of them, but I don't have to tell you.
You don't have to tell me. I was under the impression I was invited to talk to a Christian. Am I not talking to a Christian?
No, you were invited to.
I think everyone should look at the title of the YouTube channel. You're probably in the wrong YouTube video.
You're really quite something, you are.
Aren't I? But you're really quite nothing, right? You're not a Christian.
Okay, I'm done with him.
So that's the moment that has gone really viral. Couple of things here. I would just say that I noticed from the attitude of the people who were debating Jordan Peterson that they were really on the edge, and most of them were trying to get a gotcha moment with him rather than have a healthy conversation. Probably it has to do with the average age of the people that were invited. I don't know. I just think that many of them were just not ready for the conversation, just want to show that they were the one who brought down Jordan Peterson. But that aside, on the part of Jordan Peterson, I think we can all learn from this that there's nothing wrong with publicly declaring your faith. Our faith, the confession of our faith, shouldn't be private. Jesus said, anyone who confesses him before men, he will also confess such before his Father in heaven. But anyone who denies him before men, he will also deny before his Father in heaven. So as Christians, there has to be this element of bold profession of our faith, regardless of what people think or say or do about that. And secondly, I think it just reveals the mind of people who call themselves atheists. Everybody believes in God, but some people suppress the truth in unrighteousness. And the Bible says they profess to be wise and they become fools. And when you're having conversation with atheists, I think it is important to remember this passage in Romans chapter 8, verse 7. It says, because the carnal mind is enmity against God, for it is not subject to the law of God, nor indeed can be. Many atheists are hostile towards God. And whenever you bring up the subject of God, it brings out the hostility in them because they are trying to suppress the truth about God in unrighteousness. So here's my final thoughts. The debate will have been better if a proper Christian apologist was asked to debate 20 atheists, and not Jordan Peterson, who has not publicly declared his Christian faith. Those are my own thoughts on these things, and I'm curious to hear your thoughts on these things. Share that in the comments, and I'll see you in the comment section. God bless you.